Hey up, I'm Guy Kessivan, the Tester-Man, and this is this month's Polaris Route of the Month. And today, we're rolling out of Hetton in North Yorkshire for a 72 kilometre gravel mountain bike loop up around the heart of Malham. Well, at least I hope it's a gravel mountain bike loop, because I'm riding a gravel bike and everybody else is on mountain bikes. But I guess you'll get to decide as we ride around it. So unlike last month's route, where we headed straight up an absolute super technical rocky wall, we have got a long climb to start. It's 6k climb, but it's pretty steady all the way to the top. And the majority of it, at least for the first part, is on road. I have to say, when the weather's like this, it's proper special up here. Beautiful. If you want, you can actually come up a bridle path just over my shoulder there, but it tends to be really, really grim and soggy most of the year round. It's probably alright in the current drought, but for once, you know, I've done the nice easy roadie warm-up. Right, I failed to film it, but we've just come down a lovely bit of snaking single track road. Proper little mini alpine moment, but just be careful, because at the bottom is a gate that's probably going to be shut. So don't go too mental or I'll end with a clang. And now, first bit of off-road. Like, definitely primo gravel so far. He says suddenly hitting the rough section one-handed. I will never learn, will I? Yeah. And obviously having it baked helps, but this is good stone footings anyway, so should be rideable in all weather. And now we're into this proper Malham landscape. Beautiful meadows, rolling hills, and these distinctive rock outcrops starting to poke through. And it's not just the geology that's interesting around here. A lot of interesting biology too. Already been shouted at by peewits, skylarks, oyster catchers, curlews. A couple of raptors scooping low over the grasses. And there's rare orchids and all sorts up here as well. And if you hadn't guessed from the straightness of this beautiful bit of lane, this is Mastiles Lane, the old Roman road across the Dales. And also, seen some of the first events and downhills of the Yorkshire Mountain Bike Club back in the 1980s. And on a good day, I reckon you can get 50 mile an hour out of a bike down the descent on the other side, but frankly, on a gravel bike, that's not going to happen. I'll leave that to my fatter tired friends to explore. Here we go. The infamous Mastiles Lane descent. Yep, I'm letting them go. I mean, these are meant to be a pretty... Whoa, hello. I'm definitely letting them go. Only some things you want to come barreling into on 45s. Oh, by the way, if you're into your bikes and tech, I'm riding the new Pashley Road Finder X with the new SRAM Rival Explorer, which will be out tomorrow as it happens. And obviously I'll have videos. All right, mate. I'll have videos of both those separately on the channel by the time this is live. Well, I'm just wary of sniper rocks. There's a few sections like this, but obviously, you know, just ride within your limits of yourself and your bike. Woo! Don't go too mad. It's a fair old day out and you are in the middle of nowhere.
All good?
Boom! I reckon Mick's going to want a shot of that. That's gorgeous. Beautiful. And if you're a climber, those are the famous Kilsey Crags. With their infamous overhang. And now we're on the road, rolling up Littondale. It's actually a fairly long road section this, so good time to get your snacks in and have a look around. Well, this isn't ugly, is it? I doubt it's cheap to buy a house here either. Sorry, a cottage. Definitely a cottage here. Ah, yeah. More idyllicness. That water is just so clean. Absolutely crystal clear. And Ryan's fun fact for the video, down there is the original pub from Emmerdale. And still a very good pub, apparently.
Oh yeah, well worth a visit. Crazy inside, all kinds of things on the walls. And they sell ice cream on a hot day as well.
Nice! Definite win.
Get down there.
Tell you what, for a dale in the middle of nowhere, Littondale is very, very well served for very nice looking watering holes. That's proper dry, that is. And this is where that 1046 block really comes in handy. Well, that was a fun challenge on the gravel bike. Especially if it's wet. That's going to be a doozy. Glad I've got these wider SRAM ratios on. Not mullet, but 1046 on the new Explorer makes a big difference. But the reward when you get up here with Pen-y-Ghent in the distance and these terraces all around, it's definitely worth a little bit of leverage to get up that hill. Saw a couple of white blobs there and just thought, well, they're big sheep. And I do get the whole, why don't you just get a hardtail mountain bike thing, but when you plug it into the wind and a narrower drop bar with aero wheels on skinny tubes, the aero advantage is real on gravel. Gravel definitely feels like the easy option. Now a bit on a bit of a road cruise. And now we're the other side of that road, heading for Horton Ribblesdale. It's getting a little bit chunkier, as you can see. 3 peaks cycling across territory. Don't really want to talk about that, to be honest. Bit of a scarring affair, that for me. I hate hiker bike, and there's a lot of it. Who says mountain bike? Right, okay. Hey, I said who said mountain bikes are faster for the benefit of the video. Oh, just when it gets rough. I mean, from a rolling point of view, my argument still stands, but yeah, if you're going to do that, it's definitely advantage 130mm of travel. In fact, I need to be careful here. Don't want to flat, do I? Stop talking about it, Kez. Whoa, hello. Sharp bits in there. Right. Yeah. And there goes the hardtail. Fair enough. Try the grass. Oh, maybe not. Oh, come on. Oh, Moxley. Steady on, my woolly friends. I'll go left. No, I don't want them to injure themselves. Oh, well, let's just enjoy the view instead. No, I don't mean like that. I mean as in beautiful view of the Dales ahead. Don't go all the way down this descent. Get ready to pull a turn on the bridleway here. Oh, thank goodness for that, ground stop. That would have been awkward. Getting this climb all the way back up. Another little gravel bike challenge section.
E-bike challenge.
Oh, you bugger. Oh. No, no, not now. Not after getting up that. It's a solid ground. Oh, it doesn't stop yet either, which is nice of it. Fair play. Actually, an Explorer. Quite a pull that. But at least as it's rocky, it should be good all year round. Whew.
Yeah, well done on that.
And again, the reward for that effort upwards is a lovely long bit of contouring gravel. And this is Dales off-road riding at its signature dry stone wall, wildflowers to either side, centuries of cattle droving best. Oh, by the way, you can cut out that whole last loop since Pen y Ghent by just coming up the road here. So I should probably put a note about that back in the description when you can do it. No, I'll tell you after the fact. There we go. Enjoying myself too much. Plus, that is a great little add-on. So it'd be a shame to miss it out. Now I've got a road descent for about a mile. And if you want, you can go all the way to settle on this. We're going to add some more off-road. And now, a nice little bonus. 2 kilometre climb. To make sure we've properly earned our lunch and settle. You can actually go across the stepping stones down there if you want. That look pretty. Oh, this looks quite savage straight away. That'll be bottom gear then. And shut up talking. Well, it is doable on a gravel bike. But I'm not sure you're going to thank me for taking you up there on it. Definitely better suited to mountain bike ratios. And again, that climb might have been a stinker, but look at the reward. And that's Pen y Ghent, which you're at the foot of not so long ago. Skylarks behind us. Perfect gravel tracks. I do find you some good stuff. You've got to admit it. But this one might be right up there. Certainly one of the longer and more strenuous ones, but the payback for the effort is all time. Settle. Where we're heading for lunch. Bit more off-road first though, eh? Yep, here we go. Straight on here. And now we've got a nice little off-road contour. Double tracking round into Settle. Plus, we're over halfway. And nearly at the calf. So, lots of reasons to enjoy this bit. Just got to remember, I'm on a gravel bike. Oh, that ground's getting scenic. Cheers, mate. What? It's a cobbly business. It's the Dales round here. They're never short of rocks, that's for sure. That last kilometre and a half has not been kind to my bingo wings. And I'm definitely going to need to tighten up my breakage a bit. Started to shifting around with all the rocky rattling. Woo! Ah! Still have a pop it up though, can't you? Steady on, go. Yeah, just go steady. We are dropping into settle now. It's likely to be quite popular, especially if you're doing it on a weekend. I can see why people would want to walk up here with their dogs or their families. So, don't be an idiot. Coming down. Oh. Alright, thank you. Case in point. Oh, settle's very pretty, isn't it? Oh, just what my arms need. More couples. So I was that preoccupied with actually finding somewhere to eat in Settle that actually forgot to film while we were sitting having our calf, sitting there having our butties. But just to say, there are loads and loads of options. There's a bike shop there as well, tandem shop as well, specialist tandem shop at JD's. So yeah, loads of food and shop options to fuel up at just over halfway around. And again, you can go straight up a real stinker of a road climb there, which is kind of the shortest route, but if you peel off along this way, it's slightly more gentle and gets you a bit more off-road to boot. Not going to lie, it was a little bit steeper than I was expecting from the map, but at least it's all tarmac for that first batch. And then that's the job in hand over there. And the other advantage is you get a nice bit of bonus bridleway here. To break up what is otherwise a long old slog over the top to Malham. Oh, yep. Mini send. It's better to clear it, so you don't have to roll over it. Hey! And now we're back into the chunky side. So, I might just finish the outside broadcast for now. It's just going to be a lot of grunting and thumping on this bike for a while. And my memory was wrong. It's actually been really good tarmac all the way up so far. Still a hefty pull out of Settle, but this makes it a lot more easier than the loose rock I remember it being. I think that's all about to change in 100 minutes though. This is the point where we get off-road again. But for now, it's a relatively chill gradient. It's just gravel and a few flatties. It's like the stoning scene in Monty Python, isn't it? Packet of gravel and a couple of flatties, please. 6, ah, hell. Graham's dad on the hardtail. Means I've got to give it some, haven't I? Yes, gravel bike. Yes, Access Explorer. It is without rival. I'll take that.
Harder than it looked on camera.
Right, the gravel climb challenge is on. That last rocky section, that's a good job. If you get up there, I reckon. Graham span out. I just kept on chewing. So, believe in your unsuitable gear and your undersized tyres, but your oversized heart and determination, and make gravel great again. Oh, whew. That's a toughie. And yet again, as is the topographical norm, that big old climb right to the top of the hills behind Settle gives you an absolutely superb swooping descent. But I have to say, this is probably one of the best on the ride in terms of being able to let a gravel bike properly fly. When you see there's a few rocks here and there, but otherwise this double track is absolutely delicious. And if you look into the distance, you can not only see where we started off over to the right hand side, you can also see Malham Heart, an absolutely beautiful, if somewhat surprising, lake. Oh hello, there's the rocks, aren't there? Cheers, mate. Right on top of this beautiful limestone landscape. And that, folks, is where we're heading next. But for now, let's just enjoy this superb bit of descending. Because whatever bike you're on, this is an absolutely glorious bit of big skies, backcountry riding. Absolutely gorgeous up here. And to be honest, the bit we're on now is a completely gratuitous 6 kilometre loop up and around Malham Heart. Which you say, you don't have to do that, you can just drop straight into Malham, which shortens the loop. But it's pretty much flat. Malham Heart is absolutely gorgeous. And it puts a heart-shaped bit in the middle of the loop, which is why I've called it Heart of the Dales. So, I'm sticking with it, and I hope you enjoy it too. Oh, and the other thing, I'll probably forget to say this at any other point, but you can obviously start this ride from wherever you want. We started from Hetton because it's the nearest to us, but you can start it for Grassington, you started from Settle, all sorts of, wherever's closest and most convenient for you, really. But as always, all the details, GPX file and everything like that will be on the Polaris website with a full write-up on the route as well. Well, I'll add any historical notes or useful facilities information, getting their stuff. And there'll be a Strava Fly Through too. So you get a good idea of the route on the map, as well as riding it with me now. Are you ready for the big reveal? Told you Malham Heart was worth it. Oh, look at that! What a stunning spot! Hey? Can't grumble at that, can you? Absolutely glorious up here. Perfect spot to dip your toes if they're getting a bit warm. That big crag up there as a backdrop. Used to have illegal raves there, apparently, according to my mate Mick. But whatever your music tastes. I don't think you need to be on pharmaceuticals to be raving about this place. And down there is the start of Goredale Scar, which leads into incredible Malham Cove itself. And the limestone pavement is all over there, but that's a protected nature and geological reserve, so we're not going to go riding over that. But if you fancy walking over, obviously be our guest. And now, rolling down into Malham, and I'm not sure how well you can see it, but for all you freaky geology and Harry Potter fans, there's the limestone pavement at the top of Malham Cove. And you can drop into Malham, all the way into Malham on the road, but there's a really nice little bonus bridle way that takes you in the back way. So that's all we're going to do. Just need to watch out for a gate on one of the sharp turns about halfway down. Here we go. And was Jerusalem builded here in England's green and pleasant lands. Cheers, Ryan. Yeah. Oh, mine is chunky, 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 chunky. And top trivia fact: we actually came up here last week, which is why I've come back to shoot this route. So like, this area is amazing. I have to create a route to bring people here, or at least curate a route. I don't create them. I haven't made these trails. They've been in for hundreds of years, if not thousands. Anyway, we actually came up here to shoot some action sections for a Ashley TV video. So, look out for Ryan riding this bike on your telly, possibly around Tour de France time, I think. Or is it Tour of Britain? One or the other, anyway. Whoa. That were a clout. Somehow seems to still have air in your time, though. That's impressive. And as a super popular tourist destination, because of the Cove, Malham's got loads of places to stop and eat, have an ice cream, and there's loos as well. There's even a big car park, so you could start the ride from here if you want. But we've got one big last climb out, and then a real sweetheart of a descent back to Hetton. And there are some off-road options if you head south, down the valley a bit, and then hook around. But to be honest, probably done enough rough climbing by now, especially on a gravel bike. And the thing about gravel bikes is, because they're basically just a road bike with attitude, you're allowed to stick a bit more road in, aren't you? Well, that's what I reckon anyway. So we're taking the easier option, although judging by the number of double arrows on the Ordnance Survey map, it ain't that easy. Yeah, just to confirm, this last climb out of Malham is a bit of a stinker, so if you're flagging a bit when you get to the village, you think, it's only about 10k, probably be alright without a snack or without some extra water, then I wouldn't risk it. Take a bit of time, get yourself ready, get yourself fueled up, then you can enjoy the cows in the countryside as you cruise up here, rather than crawling up here on a death march. Right. Now, top end of it is off-road, but again that gets us a superb little descent. Well, not little, quite a long descent, from what I remember, into Hetton. It's literally tippity top Right, now it's a long old roll. All the way, well, there's a slight rise before you get to Hetton. Well, most of the way down the hill now to Hetton. And again, awesome descent on the gravel bike this. But all remember, nothing too nasty and rocky on it, so should be okay. On these 45, famous last word. And obviously, you might notice there's loads of options where we've dipped in close to the previous route, so plenty of opportunities to go. Thanks very much, cheers. Plenty of opportunities. Shortcut if you want. You don't have to do the full 72k. And obviously, if you want to make a 2-dayer of it, then you can stop himself. So, eagle-eyed locals will have noticed that that last descent wasn't the right one. We should have peeled further left, and that would have taken us straight down into Hetton. But here we are now, on the old Grove Road, into the back of the village, under Simon's Seat over there. At the end of what has been a somewhat epic but absolutely awesome ride. Pure Yorkshire Dales pleasure, with some real sort of iconic highlights as well, with Malham and Mass Styles. So, hope you've thoroughly enjoyed coming along. Like I say, all the details are on the Polaris Bikewear website. Put a link in the description for you to go and get all of that background stuff, and check in on news at the clothing range and other blog entertainment while you're there, because it's building into a really, really useful and interesting site. And that's before we get any of the new range in, which is imminent, which we're all really excited by. But for now, I've been Guy Kesteven on Guy Kest TV, hoping you thoroughly enjoyed this Heart of Malham Dales route for Polaris Bikewear.